Hey guys, welcome back. And today, man, game one of the NBA Finals just wrapped up 10 minutes ago as I'm recording this. And what a game. For anybody saying this was going to be a boring finals or a whatever boring, bland, there's a bunch of blowouts, I got bad news for them. What a win for the Indiana Pacers. Going up 1-0 in this series. If you wanted to go to my series preview I dropped last night, I said in that video they had to get one of these first two games, and they get game one. I don't know if I've ever seen something like this in my time watching basketball. A team that is just all they do is come back and win. It's all they do. They have been down by 15 plus points 8 times in this postseason. They've won 5 of those games. Unbelievable. Um, I'm just still in shock. What a game. What a game winner for Haliburton. Let's get into the stats here. Obviously, Tyrese didn't have the best game statistically, but it doesn't even matter, man. I'm still in shock. I don't even know how to analyze this. I'll go through a little chronological here. Um, Obviously, first half, Pacers had, I think it was 20 turnovers or 19 turnovers, turning the ball over way too much, and it was a lot of steals, obviously, but just a lot of illegal screens and offensive fouls, and throwing the ball out of the backcourt. They looked a little rattled, and it looked like, OKC was gonna walk away with this game. They were up 15 at one point in the fourth quarter. Let me see if I can find it. Um, Let me find the moment when it got to 15, because it got to 15 in the fourth quarter, but just unreal. Unreal comeback by the Pacers in that second half. I thought they did a much better job dealing with that ball pressure. It was my biggest point for this series. My biggest key was going to be how do they handle this ball pressure, right? How do they handle the aggressiveness by the Thunder perimeter defenders? And in that first half, they did a terrible job. But in that second half, they just did a lot better. And obviously 66 in that second half, I just thought their offense was clicking. It was really, the ball was moving, and they shot the hell out of the ball. 46% from three on 39 attempts. Um, I thought Siakam was good. I think they're going to need more out of him, but I thought he played well. And Neesmith hit a massive shot in the fourth quarter. That contested three. Miles Turner hit a sidestep bank in three. There's demonic magic afoot. There are forces beyond the physical realm that help the Pacers win basketball games. Nembhard had only 14, but that shot he hit over Shea, man, hit a little hezzy cross tween into a double hardened step back to cut it to three was massive. And then Tyrese Haliburton. Again, I didn't think he had his best game. I think he struggled. But when the Pacers needed it most, he came through again. Unbelievable. Let's actually do some analysis rather than me just yapping here. But I thought Obi Toppin was amazing off the bench. Had a terrible first quarter. I think he had all three of his turnovers in the first, but hits 5 threes. And in that fourth quarter, the Pacers just kind of hung on, right? The Thunder, all game, just kind of they're landing these huge body shots, and they're laying in some nice shots, but they're not landing the knockout blow, right? And it's kind of like when you're watching a fight. The Pacers are kind of like Marab Dvalishvili, who's about to fight this weekend to try to retain his title. But even if they're losing, they have so much stamina, they have so much will, and they just exhaust you both physically but mentally as well. Because having to be on your P's and Q's for 48 minutes when how much they run and just the pressure they put, it's really difficult, even for a team as good as OKC. I don't think OKC's buried or anything, but they saw the Pacers' magic. Even if it is sometimes you just feel it's like devil magic, there's just something afoot. It's a reason that it works, right? The extra play that OKC was maybe making in that first half, they were not making in the final 4 minutes, but the offense started clicking when it needed to, as it has all postseason, and they're going to steal a game. You have to beat the Pacers 5 times to beat them in a series, and a game they absolutely had to have. They had to get one of these first two, and specifically, I think they needed game one. Because now, all of a sudden, okay, if you got blown out in game one and had a close win in game two, it's a little different. And now you've taken game one. Now OKC has to go into game two in a must-win mentality. You're probably going to get blown out in game two, but you're going to have to accept that. But now you've taken home court. You've done your job as the away team. What a job of the Pacers. Moving on to the Thunder. They had it, man. They had the game, and they just slipped through their fingers. They did such an amazing job. They forced, 24 turnovers is pretty insane. I talked on my preview video how the Pacers had the best assist to turnover of any team in the playoffs. A 2.21 assist to turnover. They had one. They had zero assist to turnovers. Literally zero. So defensively, they did everything they were supposed to in that first half, and really for 3 quarters, they did an amazing job defensively. But man, in that fourth quarter, the defense just kind of fell apart a little bit. Pacers hit some tough shots, but you could just kind of feel the ball pressure starting to lighten a little bit. They kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit. And you can't do that. I thought Shea was good in this one offensively at 38. Of course, missed that potential game sealer, but I thought for the most part he was good. I mean, obviously 38 on 30 shots, but he shot the ball. He was getting that shot up. J-Dub thought he was bad. He's just very inconsistent offensively. It's kind of who he is. I thought Chet was really bad in this one. I mean, 209, only 24 minutes. Yeah, I don't know, man. They started without Chet and Hartenstein, which I kind of predicted. I thought that they were gonna go away from the double big, and they did in this one. I don't know. I don't have the lineup data in front of me. I don't even know if it's probably hasn't even been posted yet for how much they played together, but it didn't feel like at all. They went to a lot of small ball, a lot of no bigs, and while I do like it offensively in that fourth quarter, and they didn't score 30 in any quarter in this game. Every quarter they scored under 30. I did not think their offense played very well. They did not get a lot off of turnovers. Can I see fast break points here? Is this going to be up? No. Thanks, ESPN. Your app is amazing. But again, the offense just kind of iffy. Only 38, 30, about 40% from the field. Just struggled to get shots towards the end of that game that wasn't Shea just doing magical things. I mean, honestly. Lou Dort shot really well from three. Outside of Lou Dort, though, I mean, he shot 5 or 9. They were 6 of 21, and they only shot the ball 30 times. I mean, they got outshot from 3 by 7. Um, I mean, that's just not gonna work in my opinion. They got to shoot more. Um, and if Chet and Hartenstein are gonna be hard to play in this series, I don't love that for the Thunder. Now, I don't think this is a death knell or anything. This is very similar to the Nuggets game one of the Nuggets series, where it just felt like, uh-oh. And obviously that series went 7, which is why I think the series is going to go 6. And I think it's OKC in 6, but I think going into game 2, what they got to change. I do think that, you're probably not going to get 24 turnovers again. Offensively, though, I mean, it's tough to say, other than like Jalen Williams is just going to have to do something. 6 and 19 is not going to work. And they need someone outside of Shea to be consistent offensively. Now, again, if you get a good J-Dub game, then, I mean, GG, right? You're going to win. But just the one thing that keeps you from buying all into this OKC team is the lack of guys outside of Shea. Now, for Indiana, it's tough. 99% of teams, this would be like kind of fluke win. But the Pacers have done this 5 times this postseason. I don't think it's fluky at this point. Again, I think they tire teams out physically and mentally, and teams just kind of wilt under that 48 minutes of pressure. And again, in this one, I think you got to be a little optimistic if you're the Pacers. Like, you turn the ball over 24 times. You turned the ball over 24 times and you won. Tyrese did not play well. Nimhard didn't do much. Like, you got a good Obi Toppin game. Outside of that, no one on their roster, outside of Obi Toppin, played above like their normal standing. And you took a game. Like, you got to feel great if you're the Pacers. You got to feel great how your defense played. You turned the ball over again 24 times. Keep going back to such an incredible amount to win with that many turnovers. I think they only had like, I want to say 9 points off those turnovers. A lot of them were dead ball, but still. I mean, you got to feel good like about the way your defense was able to stop everybody but Shea. And the great players, the all-time greats like Shea, are going to get theirs. He had 38. He was amazing. But he had to shoot the ball 30 times. You made him inefficient. I know 14-30 isn't really that inefficient, but like it wasn't, 42 on 24 shots, right? It wasn't an efficient 38. He had to work for that 38. Only 8 free throw attempts. Again, Jalen's, if he plays better, you'll see, but you got to feel good that the centers weren't really effective. Hartenstein or Chet. Casey Wallace was a minus 13 in this one. But both teams, I think, are going to have to adjust. I think if you're the Pacers, I mean, they honestly adjusted in the game. I mean, they only had 5 turnovers in the second half. Like, they adjusted in the second half with the turnovers. They had 56 rebounds, so they killed them on the glass. 25, not 24 turnovers. My mistake. Yeah, points conceded off turnovers, just 11-4. And that's the reason. Those 25 turnovers only amounted in 11 OKC points. Meanwhile, 4 off the 7 OKC turnovers. So honestly, they only lost fast break points by 1. That's the reason they won the game. They turned the ball over 25 times, but it didn't hurt them. And they still won. They lost a shot battle by a mile, but OKC shot really poorly. So I think if you're OKC, you feel like, you know what? We just didn't play our best. We did some dumb stuff to end the game. We're going to be fine. But if you're Indiana, you also got to feel like, hey, man, this is what we do. This is what we do. And obviously, I might rewatch the game and I'll try to pick up some more stuff. But super excited for the rest of the series. Really hope that this isn't a mirage. Can't wait for game 2. That's going to be, man, home team winning game 1 is like, okay, whatever. But away team winning game 1, you're like, whoa, uh-oh. Something pretty crazy could happen, but what a game. What a moment for Tyrese Haliburton. And the Pacers are up 1-0 in the NBA Finals. Can't believe it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't know if I'm going to make any more videos next couple of days before the next finals. I might do another offseason preview because there's no game on Saturday. So I probably will do another offseason preview on Saturday. Celtics, Bucks, maybe. Trying to get some of like the big teams that might have some big moves, but hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.